Hey guys, welcome to our next big adventure after Super Mario Smash Brothers, which made a freaking $1 billion in less than a month. So much money.
It did.
Pixar and Disney's like, what did we do wrong? What did we do wrong?
You didn't make the games first. That's what you did wrong.
You should have had Elsa fight a avalanche and then have her sing about it.
Then
well, no, actually, no. Frozen did make $1 billion.
Frozen made so much money. Frozen 2 made so much money. Frozen
It's
3
true.
is gonna...
It's true. But it did make a lot of money. Hey,
yeah.
But we're back with our next big adventure review, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, or as the fans of PETA call it, torture scene for 2 hours straight. But no, seriously.
This movie got gruesome.
This movie got some serious animal activist storytelling going on in here that I actually approve. I actually really approve of the message this movie had about animal cruelty. Honestly, I don't think enough is being said. I'm not a PETA fan because, they'll burn buildings down and throw paint on people. Well, if you're
and you can never have another steak again in your life.
Yeah, that's another. But, animals should be treated. I think we're all dogs and cats lovers in here. Especially George. He has 2 dogs. Rob, do you have a dog?
We have 6 chickens.
6 chickens.
They have 6 chickens.
I don't know if I feel like there should be any... No.
I don't know where you were going, but you stopped yourself. No, finish it now.
Oh, I don't really care about chickens. I don't care about their feelings.
Did you ever see Moana?
Yes, I did.
That scene where it's like, there is something wrong with that chicken.
There was. There's something wrong with most chickens, I think.
Once you come up with names like we did, then you fall in love with them.
Yeah, if you're going to eat them, don't name them.
Lindsay Lohan.
It's true.
I need to
Christina
eat chicken.
Aguilera.
Okay, we're going to go off on a tangent if we don't stop now, but that's amazing. Okay. Welcome back to our full review. Of course, if you've joined us before, this is Shannon Gibson, Rob Coddington.
Yep.
Got it right. 3rd time's the charm, people.
I'm Root.
I sit all night going, Rob Coddington, say his name, don't forget it. And then I come here and go, Rob Cookadoo. Or something stupid like that. George Bogdan, we got him over there. He's ready to go. He's joining us now. You saw with Emily last night.
Yep.
And Rob has not seen any Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He was just like, my fiance wants to go see this. I'm going to be a good boyfriend and just join her and hope to God somehow I like it. And I think you did like it.
Yeah, it was.
I looked over at you. You were smiling and laughing.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really want to hear your off the cuff.
Oh, don't let him say it yet. I want to hear his
no spoiler.
No spoiler, but also just his fresh thoughts without all of us hearing it. So it's dramatic.
I know. I want to hear it now. I'm dying. I can't wait to hear what you thought of it without having seen any of the other movies. This is a weird series to just jump right into with no context.
But really, the movie is very...
It totally works.
It works. Okay, so I'll just go first because I'm already talking.
All right.
The point that I was going to... If you start the movie with Rocket Raccoon's story... The whole movie is just about Rocket Raccoon's backstory.
Yeah.
Which is not something... I saw a little bit of it in the trailers, but I didn't really get no. The whole movie is around
it's gonna be
Rocket Raccoon. I'm completely fine with it. For real, Bradley Cooper is such a good actor. He's a talking raccoon that makes you cry 3-4 times throughout the movie.
Amazing.
There is a spoiler scene that I won't go into, but... it's one of the best scenes in any Marvel movie. Let's just put it that way. I was emotional, I was wrecked, and I was angry for all the right reasons, because that's how you're supposed to feel, hopefully.
Heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
As Nicole Kidman sits alone in a movie theater by herself every night.
Yeah, with nobody else around. That's why she wants everyone to go to the movies. She's all by herself.
Somebody
She's all
join
alone. Me! Join me in this theater, please.
I loved it. I thought the chemistry here was on fire. Other Guardians of the Galaxy movies, the chemistry has been good, but this movie was just they know those characters inside and out. And there is everybody was just doing such a great job. You completely felt about this adventure in saving Rocket Raccoon and his story. I really liked Adam Warlock in this movie. I didn't know where they were going with him, but what they did with him, without any spoilers, he's just like a child. He's a child who doesn't know anything. He's like a childlike creation who doesn't really understand. He's just super powerful. What's the actor's name? Does anybody remember?
He was the kid from the third Narnia movie who played Eustace.
And he was in
and
a lot of...
We're the Millers.
We're the Millers.
And Marvel did just a fabulous job putting him through the Marvel training program that makes everybody hot. Like,
but I mean, not just that.
They just turn everybody hot.
When he shows up, he means business.
Yeah.
And I was legitimately scared of that dude.
He was fantastic.
I was like, oh my god.
He went from playing like the absolute nerdiest kid to this total badass, just so well.
He's got a big career ahead of him. I feel like.
Yeah. If this didn't seal it, nothing would.
And Nebula is so... I mean, this is the movie where Nebula really shines too.
She does.
It's not just a Rocket Raccoon. I love the Mantis, Drax, and Nebula banter throughout the movie. That is my favorite.
Oh, so good.
The villain is...
You think I am stupid? Yes.
Oh, can I just say, the lines in this movie are so freaking hilarious.
They're so well written.
I was like, I'm laughing too loud, but I can't help myself. This is absolutely amazing.
They didn't stop for a second. They just kept hitting us with more jokes and more jokes.
Did you hear me choke on my popcorn
at
that one scene?
You were like...
I was like not ready for that line. I don't even know what the line was at this moment, but there was a line in this movie that was just such a great delivery that I almost died eating popcorn. I was about to join...
There was 5 or 6 of those that were just...
No, like, yeah, they're like the writing. James Gunn, I'm so excited now for Superman since he's writing directing the new Superman movies. I think he's gonna do something really crazy with Superman that nobody's... Yeah, like Guardians...
If anybody's gonna do it, it'll be him.
Because like Guardians... I mean, and can I just say Marvel's kind of been on the slump lately? Like...
Yeah, the last few Marvel movies were
yeah, like
Ant-Man
Ant-Man was fine. Black Panther 2, the whole time I'm like, well, I just missed Chadwick Boseman. Not that it wasn't a good movie.
Well,
but yeah, like I just missed him, and I don't know. I think the last great Marvel movie I saw was probably Spider-Man.
Yeah,
No Way Home.
I agreed.
After that, it's been like, if you don't see it, I think you'll be okay.
They're filler movies.
Yeah, but this movie was like, oh no.
We're back.
We're back.
Yep.
This is what Marvel does. Hold on to your pants.
Yep.
Like, we're doing it. And yeah, for me, Golden Popcorn, I can't wait to watch it again. If I say any more, I'm just going to spoil it, so I'm just going to throw it over to you.
Yeah, I've loved this movie. Like, I remember like 10 years ago when the first Guardians came out, Fahad, we weren't doing reviews yet, but Fahad was like, we're going to see Guardians. And I was like, I don't want to see them. Like, the blue people and like...
Do you remember the line I sold you on?
What did you say? No, I don't.
I said there's a talking tree and a talking raccoon. And you were like, so it's like a Disney movie? And I was like,
I did not. Now you made that up. I did not say that.
No, you did. You said...
Really? I don't remember that.
Well, maybe not the last part, but you were shocked that there was a talking raccoon and a talking tree. What's that all about?
I just remember being like, I'm not into the action Marvel stuff. And you were like, no, listen, this is the Marvel movie that you're going to like. And at that time, there was like 5 Marvel movies. Imagine that. Well,
when the first Guardians came out, that was what? 2014?
I think so. Yeah, it was college. And then I went and I saw it, and that was when I was like, wow, this is something different. It's a really good movie. and also, Chris Pratt got really hot since his days on Parks and Rec.
Ever since then, we have had to hear nonstop praising of Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. He was so good in this movie. He was hilarious. He's so brimming with confidence, but he's also got that like little boy in him that's just so funny. But he's also
he was always funny.
But he's also his story arc in this is just amazing, and like he does so much. I can't spoil it, but every character is like a Myers-Briggs. Like there's a specific like trait or quality that they have that makes their character, and they just do so much with it, and they continue to build these stories like. You know, by the time you got to like Toy Story 3, you're like, okay, we get it. There's not a whole lot more you can do with these characters. Like, they're toys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this movie, it's like, it's a talking raccoon in outer space with a rocket strapped to his back. There's no end to the cool amount of stories that we can do with this. And then this guy was born to be a destroyer, but he's like so gentle, and it just it goes on and on and on, and they're in this huge universe with just endless possibility. And I think they can just keep cranking these movies out, and if they keep giving them this much heart, they can have, this can be its own Marvel. Like, this can
Well,
be
it
the
is
Marvel within
technically,
inside
yeah.
of Marvel. You know what I mean?
But
Like,
it's kind of, I mean, the Guardians
there
have been
could
kind
be
of
45 Marvel, like, Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and they'd all be great.
No, I agree with that. They have been kind of doing their own thing outside of Earth and the
Yeah.
Avengers, so it makes sense that it's like a pocket. It's a pocket of like another part of the galaxy where they're doing their own thing, and it's very creative because how James Gunn makes the sets and what he just does weird things that you're like, anybody else would just ruin this scene. I was thinking of Ant-Man,
Yeah.
where I was like, see, Ant-Man, it was like.
it was
They were trying to be Guardians, except Ant-Man style, and it wasn't like they were creative, but not. They didn't know how to.
This was like, some of the sets in this were just so
Yeah.
gorgeous to look at, and you're like, wow, I thought I was a creative person, but I never would have come up with that. You know,
Right.
It's like what I think people must have thought when they first like watched the original Willy Wonka movie for the first time, and they saw all the candy and all the land, and then. It's got a whole Rick and Morty thing going on where they've got all these really cool creatures and characters, and it all makes sense.
But see, that's I'll talk about that later. Golden popcorn,
yeah, go see this one for sure.
George.
Golden popcorn.
Okay, you have to say more than that. But yes, that is true.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
this movie, I there were all these rumors swirling around that this is gonna be the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and I'm like, oh great, I don't know how I feel about this. I was kind of I'm kind of scared going into it, thinking like they're probably gonna absolutely butcher it because they don't really have that much source material to work with.
Right.
But honestly, they did a really dang good job for what they had.
Mm-hmm.
In regards to like story was actually a little bit more in depth than I would have expected, for sure.
That yes.
Yeah.
Because
yes.
I didn't expect it to go that deep. I really thought this was just going to be like, oh, another adventure from. I was really thinking it was going to be kind of like about as deep, if not a little bit more shallow than the last Guardians one, but it was deeper.
It was so good.
Oh my goodness.
So
yes.
deep.
Phenomenal.
They do such a good job of like humor, but also seriousness.
Yeah.
When it's serious, you're like, it's serious.
This
and
is
then,
serious.
but then the next scenes, there's like butt jokes and fart jokes and, Drax and Mantis getting into a fight. Oh my God.
And it's all meaningful, and it's so
But that's
good.
what made Marvel so good, though. Like that,
Yeah,
they got that.
They have everything.
They had that formula down, and they messed up their own formula in like the latest movies. I feel like you guys were just like, and then you're like, oh, this is what Marvel does.
Marvel is like the Thai food of the cinema world. Like, Thai food is the only food that combines every flavor in their foods, like salty, sweet, hot, heat, umami, and sour.
I don't know anything
Marvel-
about Thai food, but I'm gonna
If
I'm
you're
gonna
a
just take your
foodie-
word for
If
it.
anybody out there's a foodie,
I'm a
they're gonna know
foodie, but
that,
I didn't know that.
like every other food culture of food does not combine all the flavors, but Thai food does, and Marvel does a really good job of combining humor and satire and color and music and sound and emotion and story and character, and they have everything. Like, if you're watching the Hallmark Channel, it's just a Hallmark movie. Like, it's just romance. There's nothing else in there.
And this is why I never watch a Hallmark movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's boring, and that's why nobody likes it. But this kind of thing, they take all these different elements and they mix them up into a delicious dish.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
On that note,
It's a very
Rob.
good pudding.
Okay.
Yes, I'm dying to hear what Rob's got to say.
Yeah, because Rob hasn't seen the first two Guardians of the
Yeah,
Galaxy.
I don't know why you're here.
And I remember I looked over at you when we were walking in, and I was like, oh, have you seen the first two Guardians? You're like, no. I'm like, oh no, I'm really worried for Rob. I don't know if he'll be able to follow along, or if he'll even like the movie. So,
Yeah.
fresh thoughts from Rob. I won't cut him off. Tell us your experience of this movie.
So I would give this 2 Golden Popcorn Awards.
Whoa.
Wow.
Really?
Oh my goodness.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a great story. Costumes were great. Makeup was great.
Yeah.
Supporting cast is great.
The supporting cast is stellar.
And then
you really, I didn't mention that, but you're right. Yeah.
the entire time that I was watching like the last half of the movie, I was like, Dave Bautista is a better actor than Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I've been
Oh,
saying
absolutely.
this for
He's
so long.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The guy has so much range as an
Yes.
actor.
Amazing.
Even in Dune, I'm like, yep, I believe that you're that character
He had
now.
so many different emotional roles in this movie, whereas I feel like Dwayne The Rock Johnson has the same role in every single movie
he
does.
is. He plays one character, yeah.
And in this movie, Dave Bautista had several different.
But that's
I
what
forgot that you know who he is. Okay, because I don't watch wrestling.
Oh, yeah, he was one of the best wrestlers in his time.
Sure,
He was like,
Both of them.
I would say better than even. He had more going on, like personality wise, in the ring, even than Rock, I would say, or John Cena. And I love those two, so that's saying something.
The Rock was a character in WWE. So
Right,
I don't
right.
know- I don't know about Dave Bautista.
Like, yeah, John Cena and The Rock got all the attention for obvious reasons because they were like the big stars of wrestling. But I thought,
Hollywood's reversed.
yeah, like, well, people with range. I mean, people. It's a weird thing to say. Rock plays The Rock a lot. Like, he just has that formula down since wrestling. Like, he knows how to be that guy. Same with John Cena. I love John Cena, but I haven't seen John Cena do anything besides dumb comedy / be that big action guy. Drax, on the other hand, the actor Dave Bautista, I've seen him in serious roles. Like Blade Runner, 2049, he completely sold me that he was a slave and like hiding in the middle of nowhere in the desert by himself, getting away from society. Like, I don't know if you ever saw that movie.
Not that one, but I was thinking of Knock at the Cabin.
And Knock at the Cabin.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, yeah.
Wow, I totally
See, I
forgot.
forgot it was the same person because he was such a different character.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
actually is one of my favorite movies this year, and I actually
I
forgot
love
about
that
it. So many
movie.
movies we've seen this year.
Oh, it's a good movie.
This one's my favorite, and it's definitely going to win a lot of awards.
Oh,
I don't know if
yeah.
it'll win any Oscar awards, but I think it'll win. I don't know if it will win anything, honestly. Marvel and DC just don't do well at the Oscars.
Yeah, the Oscars, they've been kind of black.
Yeah.
Well, Wakanda forever did win a bunch of stuff.
That's for
but
other
that's
reasons,
rare.
though.
It's very rare, yeah.
Like Dark Knight did, and then it was like Black Panther, and then it was Joker. But they're more dramatic, like serious, like more other things.
The Oscars is really more for dramas, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the reason why for Black Panther there was a lot more drama related than that.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I mean, like they won Oscars for costumes as well. Like if you saw costumes,
Costuming.
they-
I mean, this should win the makeup award because
Wait,
wow.
did they win Oscar for costumes?
Both
Okay.
times.
This should win
Okay.
like costume and makeup for sure. Like
I mean, it could get nominated. I
like
don't think it's
production
gonna
design,
win.
like something, because the production design was phenomenal here.
I would give, if I give anything to this movie, it's cinematography and music, because James
The
Gunn.
music was great.
Music, yeah.
I'm like, I actually was thinking this, George. I was like, Ant-Man tried to do the same thing with these scenes,
Yeah,
and it just doesn't.
not the same.
You're like, you can tell when someone's a real artist and a part of their craft
Yeah,
and knows exactly how everything fits in and plays
Rick
into.
and Morty guys were just like,
Sure, they
let's
were
throw
writers.
everything at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah,
and
and
it's great.
yeah, that's great. If you
It's
like Rick and Morty as the
hilarious,
writers, the writing
yeah.
is fine. But I guarantee you, if James Gunn directed Ant-Man
Oh,
with Rick and Morty's,
can you imagine?
but that's what I'm saying.
Match
James
made in
Gunn
heaven.
is doing wacky things on screen, like really dumb stuff. Like
And making it work. He's
But-
pulling
yeah.
it off.
I love that entire scene where they're trying to sneak into that giant like organ. It was in the trailer,
Oh,
so it's not
are we in
spoilers.
spoilers now?
No. It was in the
Okay.
trailer, so that's why I said it.
Okay.
If you saw the trailers, there's like this big like giant octopus looking thing, and they have to get into it, and like Drax throws somebody at like this white building. I'm like, this just in the trailer. I was like, that just looks weird and stupid. Now it is weird and stupid in the movie, but how James Gunn executes that entire sequence is so brilliant. From them having to get inside, teaming up with Gamora, and Peter Quill being like, I'm a nice guy. But like, there's a whole sequence that James Gunn does, and it was riveting. Like, it is so entertaining. It is so funny, but also at the same time, action-packed. I also love, there's like multiple scenes, and this isn't spoiler, but there's multiple scenes about Rocket's backstory, and every one of those scenes, like my heart felt like it was gonna fall out
Oh,
because
I know.
it was dreadful. You're like, this guy, like, the whole time I'm just thinking something terrible is about to happen.
It's gonna be bad.
And it's gonna be bad, and it's very serious. But you know, like, the thing James Gunn does is that, like, I noticed this, like, when what's his name, the bad guy from Ant-Man,
The Conqueror.
Kang the
that's
Conqueror,
right.
how he delivered his scene to Ant-Man, and like how what of a threat he was compared to like this guy. This guy didn't talk like when Quill and all of them walk in to talk to him, but I just felt like everybody's life was in danger, and I really felt the dread of that scene. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this guy, I don't know who this actor is. I've never seen him before, but he really sold me on. He is just this animal torture perfectionist thing. This is in the trailers, don't worry. But like, man, like, this movie is so beyond what I thought this movie could be.
Oh yeah, who would have thought you could turn this into anything?
Yeah, and I won't say anything else. I think we can all agree this is a golden popcorn. Rob's favorite movie, apparently, and he hasn't seen the first two.
I know.
He's just like, this is my favorite movie of the year.
You
For
gotta
me,
watch the first one. First
You-
one's really good.
First one.
second one's good
second
too,
one's-
though.
They're all
They're
both
all really good.
Yeah.
Maybe to get the storyline,
Oh.
I'll watch them both.
Oh, you'll
Yeah.
love
yeah,
them.
yeah.
You'll love both.
If
of
you
them.
like this, you're gonna love the first two.
Oh yeah.
I agree with George. It's second one's a little step down, but it still hit the emotional
Oh
moments.
yeah, totally.
With the
did.
father stuff
Oh,
between
yeah.
Quill and like who's his real father was, like, oh my god, my heart
Uh-huh.
every time. But yeah, Golden Popcorn. This is where we're gonna go into our spoiler reviews. Don't watch this. Go see the movie. It's like, if
Yeah.
you've been waiting for a great Marvel movie,
Yeah, you don't want this.
the
spoiled.
door. This is it. This is the movie you've been
Mhm.
waiting for. I haven't said that since probably Spider-Man. I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the movies that have come out after Spider-Man have really lived up to the Marvel signature, like, craftsmanship that they have been making in the past. But this is the one. I think Marvel is back. We'll see how, Captain Marvel 2 Marvels or whatever it's called does. But so far right now, this is a great movie. I hope they come back, but who knows? I feel like James Gunn said this is you guys know this, like, James Gunn and all of them have said this will be the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie. They're all moving on, except for one person who is for sure coming back, because they told us at the end.
Which-
Don't say it.
I'm not sure how I
Mhm.
feel about them, like, actually.
Yeah. I was like,
saying
wait,
that.
what?
I prefer when that's kind of left up to mystery, in a way.
All right. We're gonna go into spoilers, because if I reply, it's gonna be spoilers. So, Golden Popcorn, go check it out. Spoilers starting in 3, 2, 1. I think the reason they said Star-Lord will be back is because they made this movie for Rocket Raccoon and Bradley
Okay.
Cooper. I think this movie, and my friend said this, it's like, if you watch this movie, you realize the entire Guardians of the Galaxy movies has been about Rocket Raccoon this
It
whole
really
time.
has. They even said
Yeah.
that in the movie.
Yeah, and it's
Mhm.
been his story this whole time. Even, like, and I remember why I thought this, because I remember Nebula said, like, my dad took my parts, Thanos,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, rearranged me. And Rocket Raccoon and her have, like, a conversation in the Avengers movies where he says, like, this is why this is a family, why we're a family.
Yeah, he kind of adopted her in, didn't he?
Yeah, and like, you feel. I love his, like, Peter is drunk. He's like, I told you, you stupid raccoon, to stay out of my, music player, whatever it's called,
That was
Sony player.
hilarious.
And then he falls over. But, like, he doesn't actually mean that. He actually loves Rocket.
And they fight like siblings.
They fight like siblings, right.
family. Yeah.
And then, like, I love
Dave
Nate.
Bautista's the one to deliver that line too.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
That was-
Nobody else
yeah.
could pull that off.
Nope.
Well, Rob, you missed this because it's in the first movie, but Drax comes from a planet where they don't understand sarcasm.
Yeah.
So he has
Oh.
no. So
He has no idea.
He can't do metaphors. He can't do idioms. He can't do sarcasm.
Which why we made that scene with Peter where Mantis
Yeah.
tells him to say it was so good. It's
Yeah.
like, that's
Oh,
that actually
okay.
made sense.
Yeah.
That's too profound for you. It's like, did you come up with that? Yeah, I come up with it the whole time. And then he goes on and
He's
Mantis
trying
like,
to make other
"No."
ones like, this is working.
And he's like, my butt can make a metaphor. Like,
So,
Oh yeah.
That's hilarious.
Forgot about No, that was the scene where I choked into my popcorn. That was the scene where he was like, my butt made a metaphor.
I pooped and it looked like a fish in the toilet. Metaphor.
I was like, why is this? Why did you say that? And why is it great? Sorry, Rob. I didn't mean to cut you off. You were saying something.
For the last topic that we were talking about, and I probably would have had this answer if I watched the other two movies, but does Rocket not realize he's a raccoon until this movie?
Yeah, he has no idea.
Until he saw the sign with the little baby.
Yeah,
okay.
all the Avengers and all the Guardians movies, they keep calling him a raccoon, and he's like, I'm not a raccoon. And then they literally say it. Got it
he's
from
never
raccoon.
He's never met another raccoon before.
No,
because
he hasn't been to.
He's
Earth.
never been to Earth.
Right,
dude.
So
I was so sold out to that scene with those three animals with raccoon.
Oh,
so sad.
I know.
And when he shot her, I was like,
oh, I knew they weren't gonna make it out, but I was like,
I know it's
the
CGI
worst
and
way.
it's a movie, but I was so like livid. I was so angry at the scene.
But the CGI looks so real. It looks like a real little talking raccoon. Like
When
you're
she's
like, oh,
like,
he's a really good actor, that raccoon. You know.
where she's like, oh yeah, like, do we get to leave? It's like, yeah, we're leaving. It's like, I get to see the blue sky. It's like, yeah, and then boom, shot, and I was just like, what the just happened? No, this is not. And then you saw it at the end where he's like takes his face off, but he actually has no face. Because I'm like, yes, 100%. You deserve that. Like, I was so happy.
Yeah, raccoon,
that was just a mask.
He should have killed.
It's like, you know what you did to my face? It's like, I know exactly what I did to your face.
Yeah, it was a graphic image there.
I'm okay
that
with
was
it.
Very graphic.
No,
I
you deserve that.
There was a couple
when
of
I was
them.
in the theater, there were like parents in front of me going like, "Oh my goodness!
What did you
Oh my
expect?
goodness!" Like
There was a
literally out
6-year-old
loud,
sitting
they were
next
just
to me.
like, "Are what?" Like they
Like,
were.
there was
they were
a
like
lot of little
terrified
kids in
that their
this
kids
movie,
were
too.
seeing this.
There was a
But
lot
I
of little
was
kids
like,
in our theater.
you know what?
Hey, you know what?
You know what? He said swear words. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah,
You know, I
think
liked
the
it.
kids will live. They'll be alright.
And if the kids need a lesson about how to take care of their pets, by all means, show them Guardians of the Galaxy. 'Cause,
oh,
you know it's true.
yeah.
My favorite part of the entire movie, though, was when Root was kicking everybody's butt, and then the 6-year-old kid next to me, he's like sitting there going, "It's like, that's why you don't mess with Root," and he just yells it out.
I didn't hear that at all, but that's amazing.
That was my favorite part, was when that kid got all excited about Root kicking butt.
I mean,
Did you know Groot with a G?
Groot,
Did you know it's Vin Diesel?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's been Vin Diesel the whole time in the series.
Yep. And all he has said is, "I am Groot."
And he's gotten paid so much money for that.
Until this movie.
I wish my job was just to say one line and then get paid millions
Listen, Vin
of
Diesel
dollars.
is committed to that.
He is. He does it really
But
well.
the guy goes and says, "I am Groot" in every language across
I know.
the world. That's
Oh, are you serious?
Yes.
He's like the Phil Collins of the Marvel universe.
Disney was like, "We didn't ask you to do this." Like, no, it was healing after Paul Walker died. I needed a distraction.
Soyoro.
yeah.
He's like,
But in
he's
this
like, ich bin Groot.
Yeah,
in this movie,
that's true.
he had
does do that.
he had a lot of emotions in the way that he was saying it.
Oh, yeah,
Does he
yeah.
normally do that in
Yeah.
other
Oh,
ones?
yeah.
It's not just like a
It's
classic.
really funny. You get to see
standard.
like different versions of him. Like in the first Guardians, he's
a-
like a
a
big,
little
like
babe.
older. No,
Oh,
that
he's
was the
old.
later.
That's right.
He's older, but then he dies at the end of Guardians. But he becomes like a little little
Little
plant
root.
that they have to grow.
Yeah.
Like a
And yeah,
sapling or something.
by the way, he has the best scenes by hands down. He has the best scenes in Guardians of the Galaxy too. Has that little. He's like this tall.
Baby Groot
It's-
is the
it's
whole thing. Yeah,
hilarious.
he's
It's amazing.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is them about raising Baby Groot into
Yeah.
Groot.
Yeah, how they
teenage
become-
Groot.
They're basically like all parents to Baby Groot. Yeah.
And then
yeah.
he's a teenage Groot where he's like,
Oh, the Avengers. He was a teenager.
I'm
Yeah.
Groot.
I am Groot.
I am Groot.
He's my favorite Guardian.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, my favorite will always be Rocket Raccoon. I just think Bradley Cooper does so well as that, and he's not even there. He just walks in, but he's so committed, and you know how.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even recognize Bradley Cooper's voice at times.
he
I
just
just,
put
I
everything
just
he had
hear
into this role.
Rocket Raccoon. He, if you think about it, he never actually plays Rocket Raccoon, the character, in any other movie. He plays Bradley Cooper in different ways, but he doesn't actually play that character. He's so talented that he actually created this interesting CGI character with its own like personality and everything.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate, because like Rocket would always get into places, then he would figure out how to like undo everything and like figure out how to escape, or I need this, I need that part. This movie really showed like the
was
reason he
smart.
was special is because even his creator was like, how did you figure
you
it
do that?
out? He's
Yeah,
like, well,
it
you
wasn't
did the thing with
just
the thing.
because they did surgery on him.
Yeah, like he he was smart, but you're thinking that scene where like the heavenly scene and like all that stuff was like not important. What that scene for me,
I know it was important. It was just the way they worded it, and I know they worded it because the speech wasn't supposed to be correct from her because she couldn't talk the same way he could. Exactly. But like, it's still
wait, what? What scene are you talking about? When he goes to heaven and sees the otter.
Yeah.
What did she say that was wrong?
Well, her speech wasn't perfect when she was.
She did an animal version of what she was. Seems like our creator, the one who created us, isn't the real creator. But she said something like, "But these hands." Oh God! What was
it's the hands that.
There's the hands that create and the hands that guide the creator.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I actually think from their perspective, that's a perfect line. But from their point of view, as animals and heaven and God and like, you know, being the one, like Rocket was never an accident. Rocket was never, what she said to him was like, you were created with a purpose and you have a mission in life. And she's like, I'll be waiting for you here, for you. Kind of like Natalie Portman and Thor, also from Thor 4. Mm-hmm. But this was better, unfortunately. Yeah. How sad is that? But, like...
I don't think it's sad. This was great.
No, you're right. What I mean is, like, there's more emotion from dead animals talking about heaven than there is from Natalie Portman and, like, Thor. It just, you know. But anyways, what I was trying to say was, like, this movie really showed me, like how important Rocket Raccoon was, and that revelation that he has been important the whole time. He hasn't been a secondary dumb animal, whatever accident. He's never. Yeah. That line is powerful because if you follow his story from every single Guardians to Avengers movies and Marvel, he's always saw himself as an accident. And his anger, that's
responsible for your 3 best friends and only people you'd ever known.
Right.
Death.
Right.
Like, I would have just wanted to die. Like, that. Yeah. Most people would not come back from that.
Right. And, like, the first thing he says to them when he does technically die is, like, I couldn't save you. I'm so sorry. Yeah. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, we never blamed you. You were trying to save us, but he blames himself.
Right.
Like, he thinks it's his fault they got killed.
They're like, we're in a better place now.
Yeah, and I think, like, that's why, like, oh my God, like, that scene when they're all watching the tapes of Rocket Raccoon getting tortured, like, and Mantis is like, why would he not tell us this? Even I got angry at that scene. I was like, yeah, why the would you not tell, like, them? Because it's guilt. He's not feeling, oh no, poor me. He's feeling the guilt of what he went through by not saving his friends. Mm-hmm. That's all he's been thinking about this whole...
Of him not being able to save his friends explains why he hasn't had like the emotional stamina to be the leader of the Guardians.
Yeah, and that's where I was going with. At the end, they all are like, you are now captain. You are the... Yes!
You've worked through your trauma.
You've saved your...
And you haven't even seen the first 2 movies.
Yeah, you saved. You saw the group up in heaven or whatever, and like you see they're in a better place. It's now your time to be a leader.
Right, and that was so powerful. I'm so glad. Like, and I love that. What's his name? Adam Warlock.
Oh my gosh, you guys, listen. So, Rocket works through his trauma, his childhood trauma, and then Peter realizes that he needs to work through his, and the alien girl needs to work through her.
Mantis.
Mantis needs to work through hers, and
Drax.
They all start working through their own trauma because of him, and that's why they appoint him leader.
And I think they said, like, the only person that doesn't want to come back. And I think this is a good ending for her is Gamora. She's done. Yeah. She's done. She's like, I'm blue, then I'm green, then I'm blue, then I'm green, then I'm blue. It's like, I'm done with Avatar. Well, she's not done with Avatar, obviously. But she's done with, like, I think for her, it was like...
She doesn't want to act anymore?
No. She just doesn't want to come back as Gamora.
Really?
Yeah, this was for her, like, this is... And it makes sense.
It does.
In the context of...
I really like the ending then that they had for her.
Right.
That was perfect.
Like, her new family is the Scavengers, not the Guardians, but they remember her in their family as Gamora.
Right.
And I think Gamora's saying, like, I've technically died twice. I've died once when Thanos killed me on that magic cliff.
And then he threw him off a magic cliff. Why did he come back?
Do you remember
I
that
don't
from
know.
Infinity War when like,
Yeah.
he throws her? Okay.
Yeah, he has to sacrifice her. Yeah.
Yeah, which was really sad. But
Ugh.
then like here she's just like Peter's coming to the realization that okay, you're not my Gamora.
Yeah.
You're a Gamora, but you're not my Gamora.
And it kind of got into like attachment styles, which is a hot topic right now, and how Peter has like always just tried to have a girl and make his identity all about whatever girl he's with, and he's never had a chance to actually like look at himself or do any kind of self-reflecting.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think Rocket helped him be like, I need to go back to Earth and I need to figure out what the, like, you know, my own stuff that, because I left and I never came back, and I'm actually kind of glad they brought that guy. He looks older. He's not really that old in real life, of course. Put
Right.
makeup and stuff on him to make him look older. But I'm glad they kind of closed off that scene because he was, technically, his grandfather was supposed to be his dad, right? Like in the first movie.
Right. And I'm glad that they didn't have him end up with Gamora. Like,
But remember at the start of the movie, they had him passed out drunk in a bar.
Yeah.
Where he was being carried to a bed.
yeah.
And everybody taking care of him.
Well, he lost the love of his life. I mean,
Right.
yeah.
And was it the lady that...
Gamora.
The green
Okay,
girl,
yeah.
Yeah, so the green girl actually died. Have you seen any Avengers movies or anything like that? No?
Not in a long time.
Okay, so like she was part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Then Thanos, her dad, had to sacrifice her
Okay.
to basically get this one stone, this magical stone thing. And then when she died, but like they had to go back in time and fix everything. But when they did, the past Gamora came through to this in the future, but she doesn't remember anything that they did together
Right, I picked
in
up
the
on
Guardians. Yeah.
So, but like once he kind of got back to the action and everything fighting, and Gamora came back, his mood totally changed, and he was a lot better.
Right.
So like are you guys saying like he's reflecting on his relationship with women and his family?
She's saying that. I'm saying I think Rocket helped him. I don't disagree with her, by the way. I think Shannon's probably right. There's a lot more going on in death than I can think about. But I just think with Rocket Raccoon dealing with his past, made Mantis, made Peter, made did Nebula? What is Nebula doing? She just hanging out with Rocket?
She's leading the new society of children. The children that she.
Oh,
runs
she's with Drax.
With Drax, yeah.
Okay, so that means besides Gamora, they're all coming back, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
And Mantis Lady, I don't know if she's coming back.
I love Mantis when she's
so good.
She yells at Nebula, and they get into like that. It's like he is stupid, but that doesn't mean you think I'm stupid. No, forget everything we just talked about. Mantis is such
but he actually doesn't forget, like, because he throws a little jab in at the end.
Yeah.
At the end, that's
okay. No, the other scene that I was crying in, you reminded me, was
you're in love with him,
and it's like, oh, not again.
That was so
great.
That was
Which
so
one was
funny.
that?
Where the security guy falls in love with
I
Drax.
just want to say this was so awesome having Nathan Fillion in this.
Oh my God! Yes.
my
So
word.
good.
That was phenomenal.
I have
That
a dumb
was
guy
so
too.
phenomenal.
I have a dumb guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, he just
I
turns
can't
to him and he's
stand
like,
anything he does.
just everything.
And he's like, "You're doing a great job, buddy."
there was like a great long pause, and you just kind of knew exactly what was going to happen, and then it happened, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if you know that Nathan Fillion is like huge because of Firefly,
Mhm.
which was also about a bunch of space pirates flying around in space.
Yeah, and he's been in if you go back, he's been in every Guardians movie. In the first one, he was the prisoner guy.
Really?
Who wouldn't
He was
give
in all the Guardians?
in the first Guardians he had alien makeup and he was listening to the
Oh.
music, and Peter's like, I have to go back, get my like stupid soundtrack machine thing or like my music player, and you see Nathan Fillion with the headphones on just listening, and he's like, and he comes flying in, grabs his headphones, like, those are mine. And he flies away.
Oh.
And in the second one he played another scene too, but I just can't remember. But I think in this one they really gave him like a little bit more to do than just be like a cameo.
And of
He kinda-
course, we love him as the Hammerman in
Oh yeah.
Doctor's Horrible Sing Along blog.
How is it they were gonna make a sequel to that? But then I'm getting off track.
I wish
But,
they would.
yeah.
Come on, Joss Whedon, we need you.
Well, I'm excited to see where Star-Lord goes. I want a Thor and Rocket adventure.
Yeah.
I want them back together because they make
that'd be
such
great.
good teammates. Do you remember when Thor was crying in Endgame? He was like, I can't talk to her. I can't. It's like, okay, I need you. Like we've all remember that scene where Rocket says we've all lost people, we've all lost loved ones. We've all feel what you feel, but right now we need you to go talk to Natalie Portman's character because those people we can save, but we can't save what happened in the past. And Thor's like, okay, I can do this. And then he goes, dude, that scene is so powerful now. I'm sorry, but it's true.
I can't remember.
Oh no!
I know.
I can
I've
picture
seen-
you
I've
just
seen
from
too many
describing it to
movies.
me.
Oh my gosh! Oh,
I can picture you talking.
it's an end game when he's fat Thor and he has to go talk to Natalie Portman.
Okay, yep.
And he's
Yep,
like,
I
nope, I
remember.
can't do this. I can't do this. And then Rocket Raccoon's like, look, we've all lost loved ones. I need you to go talk to her because right now those people we can save. Like, you just got to man up and do it. That
Yeah.
scene is so much more powerful, knowing he lost his loved ones.
That's
in
true.
his past.
That's,
That's
so
how
true.
far Marvel took that scene to, connect it all together.
Wow.
You're right.
When Marvel is on point, it is on point.
Oh, when they do it right, they do
Yeah.
it
I would have to
so
say,
well.
for this movie, the most emotional scene I think I had was the one where, he saw all the baby raccoons, and he's over
He's
there.
just, holding them all.
He's trying to get
hold,
all of them, to carry
And he
all of
sees
them with
all
him.
the other animals that he can't save. Oh,
And
my
he's
gosh.
he's just in tears there. Like,
Oh, so
what do I
cute.
do? And oh my goodness.
That was emotional, and then it turns into Noah's Ark. Everybody
I
just
was
jumped
gonna
out.
I was
say,
thinking
a-
that.
Definitely Noah's
That
Ark.
was so amazing.
Can I just say,
love
I
it.
love Cosmos. I know he's not in it a lot, but that
Oh,
dog,
the dog.
has...
Cosmos.
Tell me, would you please
Tell
tell
me
him?
I'm a good girl.
dog, good dog.
Just
Yeah,
tell
good
me
girl,
I'm a good dog.
Tell me I'm not a bad dog is what it was.
Oh, yeah,
Not a
yeah.
bad dog.
But the way that I was like, I looked over, I was like, that setup for that joke was perfectly
It
executed
was so good.
in the end. And when he saw Yondu, oh my god,
Oh.
I didn't even think about that yet. But he was like,
Yondu.
and then Yondu's like,
second
use your heart. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Well, I think we can go on and say more, but I think we can all agree. I mean, it's been a great. I still think what was the anime called?
Suzume, that was so
That's still my
great.
number one movie. I don't think
It
it's
is-
topping.
It's a hard tie this year. The last 2 years with COVID, we had terrible movies, and now it's like
Yeah.
we're finally back. We have Little Mermaid coming out. We had Suzume. We had Mario Kart wasn't that great, but it made like $1 million.
I mean, not Mario Kart.
Well,
Super
Super
Mario.
Smash
For that
Bros.
movie.
But yeah, Little Mermaid. That movie. Every time that girl sings, I get goosebumps.
She's
It
so
looks
great.
amazing.
It really does.
I
And
had a-
even Stephanie was like, I was annoyed when even Stephanie said this, because we were all a little annoyed. We're like, why are you switching races? What's going on? But
Why
then
are
when
you-
you hear her sing,
She's so
It's like,
wow.
the best person
Yeah.
for the part.
Yeah.
and she looks
Melissa
looks the
McCarthy.
part.
Melissa McCarthy,
Yeah.
born to play Ursula. Come
Yeah.
on.
But even the scene in
So
the
good.
boat, I've only seen a little bit of Little Mermaid, but there's a scene where the prince and her are in a boat and she
Kiss
can't
the
talk.
girl, yeah.
And I'm like watching that scene, I'm like literally her race has nothing. She is like that. They're executing even that little scene.
It's beautiful.
Perfectly,
Beautifully,
yes.
yeah.
I really hope Little Mermaid doesn't suck because I'm afraid of Flounder and the crab guy. That doesn't look right.
It doesn't, but I think it'll be fine. They're probably small
I don't know.
parts. They're
I don't
probably
think they
not a
learned-
big part of the
I don't
movie.
think they learned their lesson after Lion King. They don't
No.
know how to give animals emotions.
They don't.
They didn't.
But
But the singing underwater, where all the animals are like
so good.
That
jellyfish,
looks so
then I'm like,
cool.
okay, I'm
I'm
fine
like-
with that.
how do you guys own Pixar? They made Finding Nemo like 20 years ago.
That's a
You guys
different-
know how to animate fish faces to make them look cute.
That's
what is not
They're
happening
going for the
anymore.
realistic look. I don't.
That's-
They're
This
going
is
with the
different.
animals
But
can't give
This
emotions.
is live action.
Yeah.
Which is completely different
But-
than
but-
trying to do Pixar.
She has a tail. Like it's not real life. I had a moment during this trailer where I went, "Wow, they did a really good job CGIing those legs onto that mermaid." those look really real on her.
Oh my goodness.
and then I had to stop
Wow.
myself.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, man,
Wow.
CGI is getting really good.
I
Those
was not
legs.
ready for that comment.
I've been waiting 3 hours to say that one.
I really can't talk after that. Okay, well, George has to go soon because he has to get dinner for his girlfriend. I think, is anything else coming out, George, besides Little Mermaid in May? I can't remember. Fast X?
I can't. Yeah.
I think it's
that.
Fast X's, but that's just going to be us two anyway. Because I don't think they want to see it. Maybe.
Wait, you want to see Fast and the Furious, don't you?
Me, if
I thought you loved
I'm
Fast and
If you want to come with us,
if I'm
you can.
available, I will. But I'm not
But
gonna make it a
me and
special
George have
Okay.
kind of me and George have kind of did the Fast and Furious movies on our own. We did Mortal Kombat also, which was a lot of fun.
That was
Some
so
movies-
much fun.
See,
Like sometimes me and George just kind of do our thing because we did
Yeah.
Prey, like the Predator movie. We did.
Dungeons and
Mortal-
Dragons. There's some movies I
You
just...
still have to see that movie. That
Yes,
movie was so
it's
good.
phenomenal.
Okay, all right, I'll add it to my list.
Put it at the
Fast and
top
the Furious.
of that
I've
list.
watched. I followed the story. I've watched all of them, but
My brother
after the
watched.
first two, I can't get into them.
Really? Because after the first two, I got into them. I hated the first two
Oh.
movies.
They just become
Sorry, Fast 5 is when I got into them. All
They
the other
just-
movies were.
They just became so
Wow.
fake and not realistic.
That's why I like it.
The first two. The first two were
I don't think you
realistic.
understand. I don't need physics to work. I just need cars go
I do.
boom for 2 hours straight. Like the Transformers trailer. I'm gonna be there that day in that stupid Transformers movie because I just need giant ass robots.
Have you seen the new trailer?
I did, and it was so. When they said 1994, Shannon went, "I'll be there." I don't know why you said that. And I was just-
I said, oh, please don't make me watch this movie. And then they said 1994, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll see it.
You have like a thing for like 80s, 90s like style movies. So
I love the
we can
80s,
definitely
yeah.
watch that with you. Did you see the new Indiana Jones?
Yes.
Oh my god!
That
I
trailer was so good. Oh.
I looked over Rob. I'm like, Rob,
Oh,
that looks so good. And you were like, I don't even know if you've seen the Indiana Jones
haven't.
movies.
Oh, you need to watch them.
Yeah, we're
Except for
watching
the last
Indiana
one.
Jones.
Do not watch the last one.
We're watching Indiana Jones. That's
Because
crazy.
watching the trailer, I was thinking that it looked like a spin-off of National Treasure. When I was watching the
Oh
ad,
my.
that's what it looked like. The ad.
You have committed
I'm putting you through a training program.
Listen. You might have just committed a mortal sin, as the Catholic Church says, against cinema by saying that comment.
It's a cinema sin.
That is a cinema scene. A scene?
Cinema sin.
Watching the commercial, that's the vibe I got.
Indiana Jones created National Treasure.
Yeah,
there would be no
was
National Treasure
without
if-
Indiana
uh,
Jones.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, like,
Very
that
true.
movie, Indiana Jones, came out a year after, think about this, a year after Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how old the
Another
Indiana...
movie I haven't watched.
Before that.
Oh my god, I can't have this conversation
Okay.
with you.
On that note, I must
All
leave.
right, guys.
Alright guys, take care, have a good night. George, good luck with dinner.